I started reading the Bible since September 6th, right? And on the month of September 8th, on the 8th of September, I decided, you know what, I need to buy a physical copy of a Bible. That was the time, on September 8th, that was the time where we got our first Bible. I used to read it on an app. We got a physical copy last 8th of September, the birthday of Mama Mary. To be honest, the story on how we got this Bible is wild. First, we went to the Christian store at 10:30 a.m. Actually, they close at 12 noon. So, when we went there, I browsed their Bible section and found the Bible that has nihil obstat and imprimatur in it. It's a seal of legitimacy, in case you guys didn't know. It has been reviewed and that it proves that the Bible isn't tampered or redacted. It's the legit Bible that transcribed from the original, which was the Hebrew version. The funny thing was, the Bible cost like $19. And I was short of $7, so we had to rush back home and get my other bag where I hid the money I reserved for our water bill. I said to myself, I gotta have this Bible, you know. I couldn't delay this any further because it's been years since I said I was gonna buy. It's been a year, actually. It's been a year since I said I was gonna buy a Bible, but it keeps on getting delayed. This time I had to get it. I prayed to God that He would provide for the water bill, and I told Him, I gotta have this Bible, Lord. Please just give this to me. I want to communicate with Him through this Bible. I want to communicate with you using this Bible. So please let me have it just this time. Let me get it. I wasn't able to get it for the previous year. Please just let me get it. And then so we hurried home. It was almost 10:45 a.m. that time. I remember the shop will close at 12 noon. Remember, it will close at 12 noon. The nun there even opened a newly sealed Bible for me. I was blushing all the way when I had to ask permission for me to leave because I was short of cash and that I would have to come back ASAP because I gotta get the Mullers at home, you know. So she was really sweet and kind nun, and she just said okay and smiled sweetly at me. Then after that, me and Zero sped through home. I took my bag in my room only to find out I'm still short of $2. And I remember I had money on my local bank app. I had like 2 point something dollars, but the problem was I had to go to a convenience store to be able to withdraw it. When my dad asked Zero for help at the projector and laptop, we were running out of time. It was 11 a.m. at this point, and the moment he fixed the projector, we hopped on the motorcycle. Then suddenly my dad shouted that the projector acted up again, so we had to spend a couple of minutes for Zero to fix the problem. The time where he fixed the projector, it was already like 11:20 a.m. or something, so we sped up to the nearest convenience store only for the person in charge of the cashier talking to someone over the phone. She was like talking over the phone, and she gave us a good all 15 minutes before she was able to give the money to me. It was 11:35 a.m. at that point. I keep on checking my watch, by the way. That's why I kept track of the time. I was starting to panic so bad. I had to buy that Bible. It has to be now. It has to be this day, the day of Mama Mary's birthday. I don't want to delay any further, you know. I have delayed it for a year now, so I didn't give up. We went back to the store, ran over 2 traffic light signs, and people do be blocking the way. It was super chaotic because the cars on the other side of the lane would still push through even after our light turned green. But you know, after that, we were able to arrive on time. It was 11:50 a.m. and they were still open. I quickly jumped out of the motorcycle and run towards the store. I grabbed the Bible. I almost wanted to cry with joy that time. I paid to the nun and she was looking at me in awe. She saw the money was full of coins rather than the paper bill. I felt like she knew that was the only money left of me and Zero. But despite that, I was so happy. My heart was leaping out of joy. We went home, showed it to my oldest brother. He said he also wanted one, actually. I also showed it to my mom and dad, and they were really happy. You know what's weird? The demons won't stop meddling with me. I think the demons are enraged because I'm turning my life back to Christ. Because you know what happened after that? Suddenly, our light bulb outside just exploded. The line exploded out of nowhere. Next is the light inside our room suddenly turned off and it won't turn on anymore. It took us like a week to be able to to get light for our room, for us to be able to fix it. Then after a week, my brother asked Zero to buy him the same Bible that we bought, so he did. Now he carries it all the time in his bag. It makes my heart happy. And then last week, I was gonna go to church and get the Bible blessed, but unfortunately, I think the demon is trying to block me again. I suddenly fell ill. I suddenly fell ill, you know? Yeah, what happened to me last week was I suddenly fell ill. You know, I got severely sick. I got allergies nonstop until it turned into a fever, a flu, and my whole mouth hurts. My gums felt like it's being drilled inside. It felt like the veins were throbbing so bad and would explode any moment. You know, never in my life have I experienced to have that kind of sickness. I never cried whenever I get sick, you know. I got COVID way back 2020, but I never cried. This time was different. It's like the demons are trying to take me down. I prayed and prayed even in my dreams. I prayed continuously until I woke up. Actually, I woke up several times during that night and I absolutely felt like crap. It was crazy. For the first time I cried so hard from the pain. I even broke my ankle last time. My friends my friends know that when I was at work, I fell in the stairs and broke my ankle. Up until now, my ankle still hurts, but yeah. So yeah, I didn't cry in pain that time. I never cried in pain. It was that time, only that time, where I cried so hard in pain. I was saying, I can't do this anymore. It hurts so much. I think I can no longer do this. But you know, my prayer worked. I called out to Jesus. I asked for help, and you know what? I got better. It was an awesome experience, you know. God truly works wonders.